or you could just chillax and vibe and hang out. There's a lot here, right? Like there's a lot that needs to be unpacked here. And I'm going to start with the good old Queen of Wands, because who doesn't love the Queen of Wands? Hey, what's up? Basically, the Queen of Wands is a self-worth, self-value card. And when this card is in the reverse, it basically says that you haven't been valuing yourself enough. You haven't been loving yourself enough. You haven't been treating yourself with enough respect. And also, what this means is sometimes you let other people treat you anyway, and you don't make them treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. Like this card is a card that says you need to make sure that people are treating you with the love and respect that you deserve, and that starts with yourself, you know. In that same topic, we have the Seven of Swords here, which the Seven of Swords is a theft card. It's a theft of time and energy, where it's like someone is trying to take advantage of you, you know, because they don't genuinely care, and they're just trying to see what they can take from you. They're just trying to see what they can get from you, and part of you is letting them just take, you know. So this card is a card where you need to set boundaries. You need to be like, okay, I'm not going to let just anyone treat me any kind of way. I'm going to show myself the love and respect that I deserve, and I'm going to make sure that I don't just accept any kind of energy, you know. And I feel like part of this is because we're having a little bit of emotional conflict here, because we have the moon here, and the moon is that emotional conflict. It's like part of you feels one way and the other part feels another way, and those two emotions are clashing, you know, and you're not really too sure which one to go with. And this card asks that you really deconstruct those emotions, like where are they coming from, what are the root of those things, and figure out that, because what's probably going to end up happening is you're going to realize that one of those emotions are like rooted in like fear or being scared or something of that nature, you know. And then you can be like, okay, well, I don't want to make choices out of fear or being scared, you know. But regardless, there's the need to like really understand and deconstruct emotions and get in touch with yourself that way, so that way you can work through some issues. And then we have the Ten of Wands in the reverse, and the Ten of Wands is a card where you need to let go. And a lot of the things that probably need to be let go are on the emotional level, where it's like you're holding on to these emotions, you're holding on to these ideas, and they're not helping you, they're not serving you, they're just holding you back and making things harder. So the Ten of Wands is like, okay, well, we need to let go of that baggage, we need to release it, so that way we can experience the happiness and the love that we want. But when this card is in the reverse, it's a lot harder to let go, you know. Like we're still trying to hold on to it, even though we know we should let go of it. And like I said, part of that is because there's that emotional conflict that's going on there, you know. So there's that too. Okay, weenie McBean ween. Hello. And then on top of all this, we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And the Knight of Wands in the reverse is a card that just feels really demotivated. It doesn't have the energy, it doesn't have the passions, it doesn't have the desires to do some of the things that it originally wants to do. Like it has no energy, you know? And part of that, like I said, is that emotional conflict. It's that not having enough self-value, self-care, self-love, and like people just taking, you know? So like me personally, I would recommend that you take a step back, set up some boundaries, just making sure you're doing okay, doing that reflection that needs to go on, but definitely don't make any decisions right now until you've done that reflection, because we have the Seven of Cups here, and the Seven of Cups is a card where it's like you're presented with some options, you know. It's like, should I do this, should I do that, and you get very confused. You're like, I don't know which choice is the right choice to make, you know. And this card asks you to follow your intuition. It asks you to follow where that leads, because there are a lot of choices in front of you right now that may look good, but they're not actually good. But before you can do that, you have to do a little bit of that soul searching. So I wouldn't recommend making any choices right now until that's been done. Does that make sense? You let me know if you have any questions over anything I just said. I want to know if things will get better. I feel like that, and this is just my own personal opinion, I feel like that's a poorly worded question, right? Just because that takes a lot of the power away from you. It'll be like, well, are things going to get better, or are they not going to get better? A better way to word that question is, what can I do to make things better? It puts more power back into your hands. It gives you a list of like steps that you can do, that you can work on, you know. It gives you a goal. So it's like, I'm not just sitting around waiting for something to get better. I'm actually putting some action. I'm trying to actively make things better, you know. Yeah, just what I thought. We have the Four of Swords here, which is a rest card, which is a card where it's like you need to take a step back, like I was saying, and just focus on you, re-energize, rejuvenate, get yourself together. And what's so funny about this Four of Swords in the reverse is that whether you want this rest, whether you want that break or not, it's going to end up happening. So like, regardless of if you actively decide to take that break, it's going, like, something's going to happen that forces you to take a step back and like rest and like rejuvenate and get yourself together, you know. But that is something that is definitely needed, where you need to take a moment to just collect yourself. We also have the King of Cups here in the reverse. The King of Cups doesn't have a good grip on its emotions. Like, its emotions are all over the place. They're very chaotic. It's very bad at understanding its emotions, expressing its emotions. And so this card asks you to gain some emotional stability, you know, by understanding those emotions, being able to express those emotions, and not letting your emotions consistently control you all of the time, you know. So that's also something that you could do that would make things a little bit better. Just gain a little bit of emotional stability by learning those things. And then on the other hand, we have the Sun here, which the Sun is a growth card. Like, this card learns, it grows, and more importantly, it learns and grows about itself. It's like, okay, I'm going to learn more about me, what I like, what I don't like. I'm going to set up boundaries. I'm going to make sure that I'm becoming the person who I want to be. So this card is a card that says, if you want things to get better, there needs to be a lot of learning and growing that needs to happen. There needs to be boundaries that needs to be set up, you know. But that's what that is. That, if you're gonna ask me, this is like one of those things where it's a long journey before you really start to see. This is like one of those things where it's a long journey before you really start to see